I'm on a Honda Splendor. It's a Super Splendor 125, so it's the sort of newer version. This bike's actually in really good shape. It looks pretty much new. Runs really smooth. I've been trying to get one of these bikes for a while. I rode an old Splendor last year in Kathmandu and I really liked it. It's probably one of the most conventional, basic bikes you can get over here, but it's just really good fun and just really nice to ride. And over these bumps, it's just so good, like really good. Compared to any other bike I've ridden, on stuff like this, it's so smooth. And that includes the Hartford, which is a bespoke dirt bike. It just glides over these bumps, it's so comfortable. And the seat's really comfy, handlebars are in a good position, engine's smooth. It's not a exciting bike, but it is just really easy to ride and just quite relaxing. And it was actually voted Bike of the Year for 3 years in a row over here because it's cheap, it's incredibly reliable, it's got some of the best fuel economy of any bike in its class. Yeah, it just does everything you want really from a cheap bike, and you can still have fun on this thing. We're going to take it out onto the twisty road of Twisty Doom and yeah, put it through its paces a little bit, take it out of its comfort zone. Okay, so this bike is a 125 4-cylinder, it's 4-cylinder? 4-stroke, single cylinder. It's twin shocks at the back and drum brakes all round, and that doesn't bother me in the slightest. The brakes are actually quite good. If I put the brakes on now, it comes to a halt. That's all you need. This is not a sport bike, but you know, the brakes do the job. There is a bit of a rattle coming from down here. That's just from the brackets on these crash bars. Got like these double heavy duty crash bars on here, and just the brackets are sort of vibrating a little bit. Other than that, the engine is just like butter, baby. Smooth as you like. It really is, I mean, it's lightweight as hell, you know, it probably weighs less than 100 kilos. And as you can see, it's just like a push bike. It's so easy to flick around. And the balance is really good because the engine's actually mounted kind of horizontally. So the single cylinder actually sort of just faces forward rather than pointing upwards, which means the engine is kind of really low down and the center of gravity is really low. So it just feels really nimble. It's really good fun. Okay, so now we're on the twisty road of doom. It's not really much of a doom road, it's actually quite, ooh, saying that, it's actually quite a nice little road. Oh, revving this thing out, yeah. It's only a little 125, but it's a happy little bike this, I really like it. Look, I just fling it into these corners. And it's just the bumps, it handles the bumps so well. I think on the downhill, just because of how bumpy this road is, this is going to be quick. I think I'll be able to carry a lot more speed through the corners than most other bikes I've tried. You watch, I'll crash now after saying that. It's so light and the tyres are so skinny that it just flings itself around corners and actually grips quite well. None of that shimmying I had yesterday. Look at this, perfect line through the corners, no skipping around. The exhaust actually makes quite a nice noise. You can always hear a Splendor whenever I'm in Kathmandu or something. I can hear one in the distance, like, oh, that's a Splendor. It's just got a really nice like pop, 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 pop to the exhaust. I think it's one of the nicest sounding bikes actually. So yeah, it's only a little 125, so you've got to give it a bit of stick, but it just takes it. You don't get any of that vibration, you don't get any of that sort of harshness that you get from like the FZ or the RX even. It's quite busy today actually. This is Saturday, so Saturday here in Nepal is like Sunday in the UK. It's kind of when everything shuts down. All the shops sort of close early. Saying that, there seems to be a fair amount of traffic around. Oh no, it's not going to like that. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. It doesn't really have that much power uphill, so on overtakes it can be a little bit tricky. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, it's got that sort of clunky gearbox. Yeah, I like this bike. This is really good fun. I mean, it's not fast, but you just feel everything it's doing. And although the suspension's really soft, it's just really good fun to flick around, and it's perfect for these roads, the suspension setup. Right, I got to this point yesterday on the FZ and I was knackered. I was just, you know, the back was sliding around, juddering all over the place, and I just had enough. After about an hour, I was just like, I'm done with this shit. But this is just, look, I'm just going to take him over on the inside, look. Just gliding over the bumps. Yeah, here, softer means faster. Fact. On roads like this, you need supple suspension. Rock hard suspension is not going to get you anywhere other than off a cliff. Yes! Hit the apex. It's got a sort of heel and toe up and down sort of gear thing, so you sort of click back with your heel to click up a gear and then click down with the front, so a bit like a Honda C90, but you've got a clutch, and clutch is really light. You can actually just slam it in, you don't really need to use the clutch, but I will, just because I don't want to wreck his bike. Yeah, I'm having a lot more fun here than I was on the FZ. This actually feels like quite a well sorted bike as well. It feels no squeaks or rattles. Engine again is super smooth. Oh, this is where I got that big slide the other day. Oh, I just went past these people a bit slowly. The thing about these gearboxes is, yeah, when you do sort of clunk it in, it does sort of lurch forward a little bit. So it's not like silky slick sport bike sort of transmission, but it actually, I haven't missed a gear yet, to be honest. It's just really direct. Again, it's kind of designed more for sort of city riding and fuel economy, but saying that, I'm having a lot of fun throwing this thing around. Just doesn't really have a lot of power, but it's fair enough, it's not designed for that really. It's got enough power, I think, for the job it's intended for. Certainly feels a bit quicker than the standard Splendor I rode last year, which is only 100cc. Equipment wise, it's you've got a little cubby hole down between my legs above the engine. Again, that's a good thing about having the engine low down, it gives a bit more space above to have a little cubby hole to put stuff in. All the gears, switch gears are really good, the mirrors are really good, no vibration, they're solid, they don't flap around. Speedo is pretty conventional, but it does the job. And you've got a fuel gauge, which is kind of a novelty for me. Like most of the sport bikes I've had don't have fuel gauges. I had a 2004 ZX9R, didn't have a bloody fuel gauge. And there we go. It's one of my favourite road signs. Means fun ahead. So we don't have the straight line speed, but through the corners it's ooh, wrong gear there. It just soaks up the bumps so well. There is a lot of buses around today. I'm surprised, I thought it would be quiet today, but can I do it here? Yeah! This little uphill bit first and then we go back down. More buses. See, I can take completely different lines through there. Whoa, big slide! Brakes feel just enough, I think, for this sort of bike. Be nice to have a little bit more bite on the front, but then you have to remember what this bike's designed for and how cheap it is. It's so usually I get a bit airborne there, it's just hopped over that, no problem. It's got some really good damping on this. It's such a basic bike. And this is the thing, it's like I was saying yesterday with that FZ. You know, for small bikes, you just need to keep it simple a lot of the time. You don't need all this big heavy duty equipment on it, unless you're going super fast. And to be honest, if I had to do like a trip to Muktanath or Mustang again, I would use a Honda Splendor. Because it's comfy as hell, it's reliable, it's really good on fuel, and most of the time you're not hitting up huge massive rocks, but certainly a Bullet, taking something like a Bullet to Muktanath or something, you know, doing a lot of off-roading, I can't think of probably a worse bike other than maybe a scooter. I really don't understand like the whole thing about riding a 50, 60-year-old bike into the mountains, other than to just, you know, for the whole sort of sentimentality of it maybe and the whole experience of it, but it's just a massive pain. It's a huge bike to lug around off-road, and you know, you've got not a lot of suspension travel, and the suspension on the Bullets are crap anyway. And on the old standard Bullets, they're even worse. So, you know, if you're pootling along at like 5 miles an hour, then yeah, maybe. But you know, if you want to get anywhere, you know, do a trip like that in comfort, I wouldn't recommend a Bullet, to be honest. The reason it costs so much is because, yeah, these bikes are quite rare, Bullets, so to hire one costs a lot of money. You're looking like, you know, 3,000 rupees or something for a standard Bullet, probably more than that. And then you've got to pay for a mechanic to follow you everywhere because they break down, and you know, if you drop it, you can't just pick it up, you know. You see all these guys going up to Muktanath and they've got like gas canisters, huge panniers, loads of equipment. You really don't need it. You know, I rode up with a backpack with some clothes and a bit of food. All along the way you can just stop in tea houses and, you know, hotels. You can stay in there, you can eat along the way. Just travel light. That's the best advice I can give. You know, you don't need to carry loads of shit around on your bike or on your back. Just, yeah, travel light. Oh, I suppose we're nearly at the end of this road now. Tempted to go back and down it again, actually. It's really good fun. So, out of all the bikes I've ridden since I've been here, this is it's quite a surprise, actually, because there's certain bikes which I rode, like the FZ. I was expecting to be very good, and I was actually quite disappointed. The Pulsar 220, again, I thought it was quite a good bike. Maybe it wasn't quite as quick as I expected it to be, but again, it was an old hire bike, so maybe the newer one is probably a little bit better. This is actually quite a surprise. It's a really good fun bike to ride. It's not quick, but it's not that slow. That extra sort of 25cc over the standard one give it a little bit more poke. But just so comfortable and easy to ride. You know, I'm quite glad I've actually got this for the whole day now, because I'm just gonna ride the wheels off it all day now. You never really see Honda Splendors getting ridden quickly, but you can ride it quickly, and it's really good fun. I'm starting to run out of bikes in Pokhara to hire now. It's just all Pulsars, and I can't find an Apache. I saw speaking to a Chinese guy the other day who had an Apache, and I was like, where did you get it? And he just sort of pointed in a sort of general direction and then drove off. And I was just like, I've been everywhere around Pokhara trying to find that Apache and just can't find it. But the only other bikes to ride now really are things like, the Avenger, which is like a sort of, you know, 200cc Harley cruiser copy thing, and I'm not really into that. But I might just get it just for a laugh. Oh, fucking hell, look at this, we've got a little flood in the middle of the lakeside. That's cool. I just went around the corner there and I saw an Apache. And it was the one that guy had yesterday, so now I know where you can rent it. So I just spoke to the guy, he said it's about 900 rupees for the day. But it is the 180, so yeah, that's really cool. I'm going to go back to, there's no point getting it now because I've paid for this for the whole day, so... And I'm quite enjoying this little bike, but yeah, I'm going to go back tomorrow morning and get that Apache. That's awesome. That's one of the other bikes that I can tick off my list now. Assuming I get up early enough and someone else doesn't pinch it before me. This bike has a advanced swirl flow induction system. God knows what that is. Sounds like something you're getting a tampon.